So those cats get smarter and smarter. I have no idea what this experiment was. It didn't have titles. All it said was cats in puzzle box. And it looked like the cats weren't being tortured in any way beyond the general torture that cats feel when you pay attention to them sometimes and they don't want to be paid attention to. They're just like, come on. At least that's the deal with my cat. I'm Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show. Not every film we show is silent, as you know. And this next film, I think we're doing an all black and white show today. This next film is Care and Use of Clinical Thermometers. Exciting. Enjoy.
This is the familiar household thermometer in which the mercury rises or falls freely with the temperature of the air. This, however, is a clinical thermometer used to take body temperature. It is different than the household thermometer because this constriction in the mercury tube, just above the mercury bulb, causes the mercury to remain at the temperature registered until it is shaken down. This particular clinical thermometer is numbered from 94 degrees to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperature range usually covers any extreme degree of body temperature. The arrow on the thermometer indicates the average normal body temperature, 98 and 6/10 degrees taken orally, that is, by mouth. Normal body temperatures vary, but 98 and 6/10 degrees is the accepted normal for most people. The mercury tube in a clinical thermometer is found between the scale of numbers and the fractional degree lines. This little ridge over the mercury tube is actually a magnifying glass that makes it easier to find the mercury in the tube. These long lines represent the degree of temperature. The uneven numbers are omitted for lack of space, but are indicated by the long lines above the mercury tube. This long line represents normal temperature. Each of these short lines represents 2/10 of 1 degree. Now for a practice reading of the thermometer. The thermometer is essentially a right-handed instrument to read. Therefore, it should be held between the thumb and forefinger with bulb to the left. See where the mercury now rests? At 102, right on the line where the number 102 shows. Now for a more difficult temperature reading. Here the mercury stands between the numbers 102 and 104. The long line between 102 and 104 indicates 103 degrees. But the mercury is not directly on the 103 line. So, count the fractional tenths of a degree. 2, 4, 6/10. That means the correct temperature reading is 103 and 6/10 degrees. Now, another reading for practice. Here the mercury lies between the numbers 94 and 96. Now, count the tenths of a degree beyond the last long line, or 94 degrees. Here's 1 and 2 lines beyond 94 degrees. And the mercury is at the third line, or 94 and 6/10 degrees. Incidentally, this temperature reading happens to be below normal, or subnormal. And if you suspect the patient has fever, then there is good reason to believe that you've not placed the thermometer in the patient's mouth correctly, or you've not allowed it to remain in his mouth a full 5 minutes, or perhaps that he has eaten something cold. In any case, you must check the temperature again. Any condition that results in the patient's mouth being unusually hot or cold can affect the temperature when taken by mouth. Now here the mercury is past the 104 degree mark. 1, 2, 3, 4 small lines. 4 lines mean 8/10 degree, so the temperature is 104 and 8/10 degrees, a very high oral temperature. If the mercury is not easily apparent, turn the thermometer so as to bring the mercury tube clearly in front of your eyes. Remember, look for the mercury column between the number scale and the lines above it. Here the mercury is at 101 2/10 degrees. Reading the thermometer is something that requires a little patience and practice. If you try to read a thermometer when you're looking into the light, it will be difficult to find the mercury easily. The proper way is to allow the light to fall over your shoulder. If before using the thermometer the mercury reads above 95 degrees, it must be shaken down. Unless the mercury is at a considerably lower point than body temperature before using, it will not give a true reading. It must be shaken down to 95 degrees or below. The proper care of the thermometer starts with removing it from its case carefully over a safe area, so that even if it is dropped, it might still escape damage. The mercury bulb goes into the patient's mouth, so hold the thermometer on the opposite end. Then, making sure to stand clear of all hard objects, the mercury is shaken down using a simple wrist action that approximates shaking water off the fingers. Practice this at home using an ordinary pencil until you can do it properly. Before the temperature is taken orally, moisten the thermometer with cool water to lubricate it. Then, place it carefully under the patient's tongue and to the side of his mouth. The mouth is closed gently. The thermometer must remain correctly in place for 5 minutes to be sure of accurately recording the patient's correct temperature. When taking a temperature, the mercury will rise in this tube to a point equal to body temperature. And of course, the numbers on the thermometer and the fractional lines above the numbers tell us the patient's exact temperature in degrees. Here, for instance, the mercury shows the patient's temperature is 102 degrees. After the 5-minute interval, the thermometer is removed and wiped dry. Once you have taken the patient's temperature, record it immediately on paper. You can then keep a complete record of the patient's temperature as you take it. Usually, temperature is taken every 4 hours. Generally, it is apt to be lower in the morning than at night. Mark the record at what time you have taken the temperature, and if you take it orally, mark an O next to the reading. You must tell the doctor how the temperature was taken, as the reading will vary according to the method used. Unless the doctor orders otherwise, cleanse the thermometer as follows. First, a clean disposable tissue or other soft wipe is moistened with cool water and then soaped. Starting at the top, the thermometer is wiped downward with a firm rotary motion, making sure to cleanse the graduation marks that run down the side of the thermometer. And then down over the bulb with the same action. Dispose of the tissue. Then rinse with a clean wipe moistened with cool water using the same firm rotary wiping action. A second cleansing is done with soap. Use the same firm rotary wiping action to make sure the thermometer is clean. Then a cool water rinse to remove the soap, done exactly the same way with a firm rotary action. Down and now over the bulb, and the wipe is discarded. The thermometer is now properly cleansed and ready to dry with a dry wipe if it is no longer to be used. Then it can be put away. The mercury bulb of the thermometer is inserted first when the thermometer is returned to its protective case. Because the thermometer is a delicate instrument, it is recommended that it be kept in a safe place on a small tray in the sick room. It must be kept out of direct sunlight and away from heat. Once you have mastered the simple technique of using a thermometer, you can keep your doctor informed of the patient's progress. This will be of material aid to your doctor in caring for the patient in your home. For infants and young children, the rectal method of taking a temperature is often prescribed. For this method, the security type thermometer is used. It has a stubbier mercury bulb. Average normal rectal temperature is 99 6/10 degrees. The rectal thermometer is lubricated with an oily substance. Then, the thermometer bulb is carefully inserted and held in the infant's rectum. The baby is held as still as possible. After the 5-minute period, the thermometer can be read and the infant's temperature recorded. After the temperature has been entered, mark the letter R to signify the temperature was taken rectally. The axillary method of taking temperature is used when the temperature cannot be taken orally or rectally. After the armpit is wiped dry of perspiration, the thermometer is placed under the arm and the arm folded tightly across the chest, hand grasping the opposite shoulder. The axillary method requires holding the thermometer in place a full 10 minutes, and normal temperature taken this way is approximately 1 degree below the oral normal of 98 6/10 degrees, or 97 6/10 degrees. In recording the temperature taken by the axillary method, put an A beside it as a reminder to tell the doctor you took the temperature by the axillary method. Now to review. Remember, to find the mercury, hold the thermometer on the end opposite the mercury bulb. Turn it slowly until you pass the scale of degree numbers. And right above the numbers is the mercury tube. The thermometer may easily be broken if shaken down over a table or other hard object. The thermometer is a delicate instrument and must be handled properly. The mercury must be carefully shaken down to or below 95 degrees before the temperature is taken. One of the 3 ways of taking temperature is the axillary method. After drying the armpit, place a security type thermometer in the armpit for 10 minutes. For the rectal method, oil the security type thermometer, carefully insert, and hold it in place for 5 minutes. In taking the temperature orally, place the moistened thermometer carefully under the patient's tongue and to the side of the mouth. Have him keep his mouth closed. Oral temperature takes 5 minutes. And remember the average normal temperatures. Average oral temperature, 98 6/10 degrees. Average rectal temperature, 99 6/10 degrees. Average axillary temperature, 97 6/10 degrees. Keep a record of the patient's progress, the time the temperature was taken, and the method used. In cleansing the thermometer, unless the doctor specifies some other method, cleanse with soap first. Using a firm rotary action starting at the top, the thermometer is wiped downward, making sure to cleanse the graduation marks that run down the side, and the mercury bulb. Dispose of the tissue. Rinse with a clean wipe moistened with cool water. A second cleansing is done with soap. Use the same firm rotary wiping action to make sure the thermometer is clean. Then a cool water rinse to remove the soap, and the wipe is discarded. The thermometer is now properly cleansed and ready to dry if it is no longer to be used. And last, remember to return the thermometer to its case, mercury end first, to protect it at all times when not in use.
So what I like about it is that a lot of the shot is there's no face, it's just these hands doing things. And it's a nurse, it's a female narrator, which is sometimes is a rarity. Many times it is a male narrator, but this is because chances are this is shown to women who are nurses. That's why the person who knew how to do this and who had to train on this was probably a woman, so they just went ahead with that. All right. Let's see what we got next lined up here. This is a film by, I believe it's Ohio Oil, and it is a narrative about driver safety. I think there's some car crash footage in it, but I don't think it's real. I think it's staged. I'm hoping. But it's in black and white, so it's not gory, and it's not like the Ohio highway safety films. It's pretty well. It's one, it's better acted. Two, it's just better shot and edited, and it's not grisly. So here is the case of Officer Hildebrand. Enjoy.
Most of the city is asleep. The roar of traffic has long since faded out. At the police station, it's the dog watch. The hours drag on. But under the bored calm, there is tension and deadly dull routine.
Now, would you blow up this balloon, please?
What for? Just tell me that. What for?
It's a routine test.
I'll tell you what for. You think I'm drunk? Well, yes, you do. But I'm not, see? That's just the reason I'm not going to blow up your old balloon. I'm not going to blow up anybody's balloon.
Then would you sign this form that you refuse?
Oh, no. Oh, no, you don't. I'm not going to sign any form.
Hey, Dolph, I'm a little past my shift.
I'll handle this. Go on, check out.
Thanks.
Goodbye, old sea scow, old buddy.
Will you walk this line out here, please? Try it.
Why should I walk a line? I wasn't walking, I was driving.
16 Maple Street.
Oh, Pete. Card? Help yourself.
Thank you.
How's everything going?
Oh, big deal, very big. Drunk, wrong side of the street, no lights. Said he only had 2 beers.
I know.
Prominent citizen, taxpayer, friend of the captain. Oh, sure.
Here, officer, I'm a citizen and a taxpayer. I know I know my rights.
Yeah, his rights. What about the rights of some guy who might have killed driving that way?
Give you any trouble?
Oh, well, you know, drunks. I just wish I had somebody working with me.
All it takes is more cops and money.
Yeah, I know. How's it with you guys?
Oh, just pushing pins. 11th and Ridge. Hill and Maple. Just pins.
Yeah, just pins. Pins on a map. Nobody ever thinks of them as people. People that are facing a fine or maybe a stretch in the tank, or people maybe hurt or dead.
Oh, take it easy, Pete. Don't let it get you.
Well, I'm out there 8 hours a day, and to me those pins are people. People that get all fouled up.
Funny.
What do you mean? What's funny about it?
I mean, every year we get better roads, better traffic controls, better laws. Some of the best brains in this country are going all out to make driving safer.
Sure, and look at the cars. What's been done to make them safer the last few years? You name it, they got it.
Well, there's one thing that could still stand a lot of improvement.
Yeah?
Yeah, the nut that holds the steering wheel.
That ain't funny either.
Funny? Of course it isn't funny. Look at the map. Every one of those pins is somebody. Or was.
We got plenty of pins.
Yeah, we got lots of pins. Look at them. Every one of them could be somebody you or I know. Tomorrow they'll be on the map. Why don't you name them? Put faces on those pins.
Pete, don't let it get you. That drunk of yours will be in safety court bright and early tomorrow. Till then, forget you're a cop. Go on, go home.
Car 23. Car 23, come into the station.
You know what Pete said kind of gets me. I mean about the faces on those pins.
This is Juneberry Circle. There've never been any pins on Juneberry Circle, and probably never will be. But that doesn't necessarily go for everybody that lives there. The type of person you instinctively call JT. In a half hour or so, he's at his office, but he's not the kind of guy to wait till then before getting the wheels turning. No, sir, not JT. He dictates even while he drives.
Frida, take a letter to Bowen as follows. Dear Bowen, oh yes, if Billingsley calls again, tell him I'm not in. Tell him anything you want to, Frida. That guy's been pestering me for the
Yes,
last...
JT is a very sharp fellow. He looks out for himself, and others had better do the same. Nobody better get in his way. Out on the highway, Morton Trotter, traveling man. It's a fine day for driving. He couldn't ask for better. The smooth road ahead made for speed. The speed limit's 60, but if you're covering a territory, time is money. Time is everything. Even if you get caught breaking the limit, you're still money ahead. Yes, Morton Trotter, a man in a hurry. And Morton has a long, long way to go today. Out on the edge of town, meet Pat Niblick, cabbie. He's been one for more than 20 years. That's a lot of driving, but rarely over 30. And he's proud that he's never had a ticket.
You figuring to work today?
I sure think. Pick up enough for a couple of extra days vacation.
Oh, Pat, I wish you wouldn't. You've been working on your old car almost every night.
Vacations cost money, Martha.
Oh, but you need the rest.
I'll get plenty of that starting tomorrow. That coffee was just what I needed. I'm all right now. Don't you worry about me.
But I do.
After all these years. Bye, Martha. See you tonight.
Goodbye, darling. And do be careful.
Pat Niblick, a careful driver, but tired. Now meet Elvira Coffey, a charming hostess, delightful companion, as gay and carefree as a bird.
After I've dropped you at the office, I'm going to pick up Ruthie Pruitt. Oh, we have the most wonderful day planned. Shopping. Well, I have a list as long as my arm. No, it's longer. And then on the way home...
Red light, Elvira.
Oh, yes.
Elvira, you ought to pay more attention to your driving.
Now, Bill, you're not going to start that again. It isn't as though anything had ever happened. Of course, I don't claim to be the least bit mechanical, but I do drive slowly. Now, why do you suppose they're blowing at me?
Green light, Elvira.
Oh, yes, of course.
Goodbye, Elvira. See you tonight.
This is Wally Bateson, a swell guy, full of fun, a good word for everybody. There isn't a nicer fellow on 2 feet. But on wheels, he's a different man.
Why, you...
Wally Bateson, driver, angry driver. Wally has plenty of time. It's just that, well, that's the way Wally is.
Come on, go someplace. Well,
Yes, that's the way Wally is. Impatient with every other driver on the road. An angry driver. And now, Officer Hallebrand getting ready to go on duty.
Why can't they keep you on the regular shift? Or at least you ought to stop putting in your own time, like last night.
Well, there just aren't enough cops to go around, honey.
Sometimes I wish you weren't a cop. I'm not thinking just of myself, but how about the kids? There's so many other jobs you could have. Better jobs. Isn't fair to them or me.
Oh, now look, honey, we've been through this before. I'm a cop. You knew that when you married me, honey. Come on now, smile. Oh, look, you can do better than that. Okay.
I'm sorry, Peter. I don't want to nag. It's just that...
I know. Bye.
Hey, there she is. Oh, boy, are you getting big.
Now, look, you be a good girl today. I'll bring you a big surprise tonight, okay?
I will.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Daddy.
And Peter, try to get home early.
Meanwhile, J.T. Bullock drives his car and runs his business from behind the wheel.
I'll handle the other end of the deal. I hope that's clear. Frida Barnum was right. One born every minute, maybe 2.
On the highway, Morton Trotter has stopped for gas. In a hurry, of course.
Oh, we all set? Yes, sir. Tanks full, oil's fine, lights and turn signals okay. By the way, your left front tire's a little thin on the outside.
Oh, no, not now. I gotta hurry.
Take only a minute to put on your spare.
Say, what is this, a car clinic?
No, sir. But we like to know our customers will be back, alive.
And in town, the impatient Wally Bateson still driving with a chip on his shoulder.
Go right ahead, mister. You're in more of a hurry than I am.
You want to make something of it?
Not me. This is a courtesy cab.
Stupid old goat.
I don't know what gets into some people when they get behind the wheel. They get all worked up. And when you're driving, that ain't good.
Elvira Coffey again. The kind of driver that gives thousands of sensible, careful women drivers a bad name.
Why do you suppose he's blowing at me? I haven't done anything wrong. It's ridiculous. Oh, for heaven. I must have done something wrong.
Yes, ma'am. Left turn from a right lane with a right turn signal. May I have your license?
Oh, but nothing happened. Why do you have to give me a ticket?
It's the law.
Oh, but you see, I already have two, and if you gave me another, I might lose my license, mightn't I?
Sorry, it's out of my hands.
Oh, but I wouldn't be able to drive anymore.
Nothing I can do about that.
Well, I should think you do a lot more good chasing burglars and murderers and poor defenseless motorists. I bet you're proud of yourself.
You might be interested in knowing, ma'am, that auto accidents cause more personal injury, property damage, and death than all fire crime combined.
Well, I think you're a meanie. What would you do if you arrested someone that was really guilty?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that, ma'am. You see, all of the people I arrest are innocent.
The idea. I've got a good mind to report him.
By now, JT's deal on that property is shaping up nicely.
Good.
For him.
Pick them up. Meanwhile, call Constanti. Tell him we can do business now.
Yes, sir, JT. I'll get him to come right over.
No, not here. Got that? Not at the office. I'll be at my home.
Out on the highway, Morton Trotter has a passenger.
Coming home from school, huh? Sure, glad to give you a lift all the way. I bet you're in a hurry, too. Well, you picked the right man, then, because I'm really traveling.
Bill will be furious, simply furious. Another traffic ticket and all these things. Oh, you know how he is with his stuffy ideas. I know what. When he gets home, I'll have martinis all ready just for us two. And I'll be wearing that new fire, look out! Oh, dear Ruthie. You get out and look. I'm afraid to.
And so, one of those pins. A pin with the pretty, silly face of Elvira Coffey. Along the middle of the afternoon, you can usually find Pat Niblick at his stand outside the hotel.
Hey, driver, station, please. I've got 10 minutes to make my train.
Hell no, mister. That's an 11-minute run. You wouldn't want me to risk piling you up in order to cut a minute off of that, would you?
Okay, but get going.
All right. Besides, I know ways that we can dodge the heavy traffic instead of fighting it.
Well, matter of fact, they run every half hour anyway.
That's right. You just relax and enjoy the ride. You live a lot longer. Doggone it, now I've seen everything. Driving a car and shaving. Just driving isn't enough for some people.
Another pin for the map. A pin with the face of a little boy.
All cars in contacts, especially car 22. Be on lookout for hit and run car. Light-colored sedan. Make unknown. License ending in probably broken headlight.
Car 22, got it.
These cars nowadays will do 80 without even working hard.
You're doing 85.
Now, you're not scared, are you? In a few years, they'll do 100, 120.
That power isn't for speed, mister. It's reserve power for passing. For an added margin of safety, that's why they put it there.
Well, they got it, and I'm the boy that can use it. Feel that motor take it.
Mister, thanks for the ride, but how about stopping? I think I'll take a bus.
Relax, son. I got you this far, haven't I?
I'm scared, I admit it.
Take it easy. I know what I'm doing. Look, steady, isn't it? Speed's old stuff to me.
Look out!
See what I mean? Good reflexes. A real driver's up to any emergency.
That's your car, sir? Well, of course that's my car. Why? You had an accident lately?
No, of course not. Look, can't this wait? I'm busy. I've got an important deal.
This is important, too. A car with a license ending in 284 was involved in a hit-run accident this afternoon.
A lot of people have licenses ending in 284.
That's right. But not many of them would have a broken headlight that matches the glass picked up at the scene of the accident.
A broken headlight?
And the lab might find some traces of cloth on your car, too, sir.
Cloth?
That's right, cloth that matches the clothes of a kid who's in the critical ward at St. Francis Hospital right now.
Oh, no. Well, I don't know anything about it.
That may be, sir, but you better come along with me.
It's dark now, the time when people are hurrying home. And for Pat, it's about the end of the day and the beginning of a vacation. Rest. Lots of sleep. Sweet sleep.
You hurt? Let me give you a hand.
I'm all right.
What happened?
I must have fallen asleep. Imagine me falling asleep at the wheel. There goes a perfectly good vacation.
That's another pin. With the face and the name of Pat Niblick, tired driver.
Hi, Wally. Been working overtime?
Yeah, I had some things to clean up. You go my way?
Well, yeah, but...
Well, I'll drop you off.
Oh, no thanks. All the same. I'll take the bus.
Hey, wait a minute. Well, why the brush off?
It isn't a brush off, Wally.
Well, what is it?
Look, Wally, there are about 88 million cars in this country, and you want to fight them all. And that's a fight you can't win. And me? I'm chicken. I'll see you tomorrow.
Gee, that light was red.
You have to know how to make those lights. Figure them closer, you can make 3, 4 in a row, but you got to take them fast. Sometimes you got to cut into them on the yellow.
Car 22 calling headquarters.
Go ahead, 22.
Anything new on that little boy in St. Francis Hospital?
No further information.
Okay, I finished my tour. I'm coming in now.
Okay.
Car 22 calling headquarters. Two-tone sedan heading north on 4th. I'm in pursuit.
That looks like a police car back there.
Maybe and maybe not. And And if it is, maybe he isn't after us. And if he is, he may not catch us. Nuts. Say, I got this made. Why, you can't do that for me.
I'll bet that was a smash-up back there.
Sure, happens all the time. Gotta be on the ball. Oh, nuts, we're stuck on this light. Hey, you said you lived across town.
I do, but I intend to get there in one piece.
More pins. More pins with names and faces.
Here's Pete's gear. You'd think a few hours ago it was active duty equipment. Now police property slightly used.
Go on the frame. Killed in the line of...
Yeah, I know. Captain went out to see the family.
Coffee?
No, no thanks. It's almost as if Pete had it figured.
Yeah. Those pins with the names and faces. But how could he tell?
Like this one. Elvira. Third violation. 30 minutes later, she piles her car up in an empty street doing 20 miles an hour. Silly accident.
Silly driver. Just plain careless.
And lucky. So lucky. And that guy that hit the kid, claiming it's the school's fault for not fencing the grounds.
Too selfish to think about anybody else.
Breaking the law and the golden rule. Well, he'll have 6 months in the can to think real hard. And that cabbie, driving a hack 20 years without so much as a parking ticket. The day before his vacation, he climbs a tree.
Report said he went to sleep at the wheel. How tired can you get?
Dead tired in a car. Tired enough to die.
He was lucky, too.
How do you figure the guy who ran into Hallibrand? In his statement, he says a guy blew a horn at him and he lost his head.
Crazy driver.
The kind that blows his top at anybody that drives the way he does. Well, he'll have plenty of time to cool down.
But what about the other guy who plowed into Pete? He had plenty of time to steer out of the way. But no. He gets panicky, freezes at the wheel, and boom. But how about Hallibrand?
He doesn't count, just a cop doing his duty.
To some he counted. Like his family, to them he counted, real big. It was like he knew it was coming. That business with the pins.
Yeah, but he didn't have it figured either. There's still one pin left. The guy who got away. What's his name? Give him a face.
Yeah, you got by. This time. But your pin is right here, waiting. For you and a lot of others just like you who've gotten by so far. You can give it a name. Sure, your name. And your face. Here. Want one?
They lay it on pretty thick. Pretty great though. That setup of all those individuals. It's like a really good disaster movie. Like an Irwin Allen picture where you get the backstory of every single person leading up to the giant catastrophe, and then you see who survived and who didn't. And of course, Officer Hildebrand, is the likable guy who we knew, knew better. Was talking about how the pins should have faces, and sure enough, he dies. And so, if it's not about your own personal safety, then like, oh, well, here's the innocent person, here's the innocent lives. So there you go. Lots of interesting black and white today. Thanks for joining us. If you like what you saw, or at least were intrigued by what you saw, you can hit the thumbs up button, the like button. You can share this with friends and family. You can also buy us coffee by going to ko-fi.com/avgeeks. The money donated there we use to buy coffee, but we also use it to buy things like supplies, like white artist tape to tape down films, and cores. These are film cores that we put film on when a reel's too bent, or denatured alcohol that we use to clean things, or on weird little stickers made by homeschoolers. The images made by homeschoolers, and these will be available soon. I'm trying to figure out how we can make these available. If we put it together with like a t-shirt and with some other stickers and some pins. Oh, pins. Anyways, thanks for joining us. We will be back again tomorrow, but not live. We will be live on Monday coming up as we are traveling. So thanks for tuning in, and everybody have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.